Let me just preface this video by saying I absolutely love How I Met Your Mother. It's one of my favorite shows in the universe. I've watched it probably over 20 times at this point, and it's a show that I can quote almost word for word. But that doesn't mean I don't have some issues with the show. And today I want to talk about one of my major pet peeves with the show because it's been bothering me for a while and I need to get this point out into the world because I don't feel like a lot of people have pointed this out before. So, my major pet peeve with How I Met Your Mother has to do with Marshall's opinion on Ted and Robin together as a couple. In the last few seasons of the show, Marshall was written as a big supporter of Ted and Robin eventually ending up together, which is incredibly strange considering he seemed pretty against Ted and Robin ending up together in the first few seasons of the show. Not like he was actively rooting against them or anything, he was just understanding of how they were different from each other and ultimately wouldn't end up working, and felt concerned that their relationship as friends would be jeopardized if they ever got back together again. That's why I find it very weird that he would suddenly be ride or die for them in the last few seasons. And before you come after me about just being a Ted and Robin relationship hater, I have evidence to back up my pet peeve. In the episode Benefits from season 4, Marshall accidentally finds out that Ted and Robin are hooking up again despite being broken up for 2 years. When he discovers this, he seems pretty freaked out and hurries to leave before Ted and Robin stop him. Marshall then proceeds to sarcastically say that the two of them hooking up is going to be a great idea for everyone. He even asks if they are back together with a cautious tone, implying he doesn't want it to be true. A few episodes later, in the episode Mosby's Designs, Marshall reveals to Barney that he knows that he is in love with Robin, admitting that he and Lily both think Barney and Robin are perfect for each other. From his tone, you can tell he really means it, and it's quite the opposite tone from when he thought Ted and Robin might be getting back together. Now, later in the series, why would someone who realized how good Barney and Robin were for each other be totally for Ted and Robin? Doesn't make sense. An earlier example of Marshall's trepidation toward their relationship is in the episode Milk from season 1. At the end of the episode, when Ted comes back to the apartment and reveals he blew off his seemingly perfect date because he wants Robin, Marshall groans, saying "not this again," and tells Ted that it is a mistake to go after Robin again. Marshall then proceeds to list off the evidence as to why they don't work, telling him that they have tried again and again, going on about every reason why he shouldn't keep chasing after her. Marshall is pretty adamant in this scene about Ted not going after her again, making it pretty clear his thoughts on the two of them getting together after they already show that they are not that compatible. Now, back to season 4, in the episode Shelter Island, Ted is asking the gang for their opinion on whether or not Robin should come to his wedding. Marshall is on the side that she shouldn't come. And this can either be seen as what Marshall said, that you shouldn't ask your ex to come to your wedding because why ask them to see your successful relationship, but I also read this as Marshall being concerned that maybe Robin coming will cause Ted or Robin or both of them to do something that will interfere with Ted marrying Stella. So there's the evidence. It just bothers me so much that they made Marshall Ted and Robin's #1 fan in the later seasons, even having him bet Lily that they would end up together. He insists that Ted not give up on chasing Robin, despite everything. Despite Robin saying in one of the most brutally honest moments of the series that she doesn't love Ted. It seems to me that they just needed a character to be on Ted's side as they were trying to set up Ted and Robin for the finale. I just don't think Marshall fits the role well at all. He has always been vocal and not thinking Ted and Robin are right for each other, as well as being vocal about Barney and Robin being perfect for each other. I don't think Marshall is the kind of friend who would be rooting for Ted to take Robin away from Barney. Marshall and Barney's friendship is one of my favorites in the show, and I don't think Marshall would lie to Barney or go behind his back. It annoys me so much in season 7 and 8 when he and Ted have those scenes talking about how Ted belongs with Robin, it just feels so deceitful. In a deleted scene, they show Lily paying Marshall for their bet that Ted and Robin would end up together, with him seeming happy about it, and that gives me a gross feeling knowing that Robin was married to his other best friend Barney, and he was just always secretly hoping that she would end up with Ted instead, It's also even more messed up when you think about how Barney got his heart broken for the first time, when his girlfriend Shannon went behind his back and cheated on him. To have Marshall be rooting for the love of Barney's life to end up with someone else, even though he knows Barney's romantic past and how vulnerable he is about it, is pretty upsetting and sad. Marshall's a very emotional character, but he is also a lawyer, and he often thinks about the evidence, even in situations when he is not in the courtroom. I don't think Marshall would be the kind of person to see all of this evidence of their past relationship and still insist on Ted consistently chasing after Robin only to get his heart broken over and over. Marshall cares too much about Ted to let that happen, and he has a logical perspective on the two's relationship. I just think making him so for Ted and Robin is very out of character for him, and every time I rewatch the show, those scenes just bother me so much. Especially since over seasons 3, 4, and 5, they built Ted and Robin up to have a very great platonic relationship. Like, it first of all doesn't make sense for them to go back to having a romantic relationship when they've already proved through the show that they have a much better relationship as friends, and it also doesn't make sense for Marshall to be all for it, and to have been seemingly always rooting for it. Yeah, you may have noticed I have gotten to my point in my most recent rewatch where I'm on the last few seasons. I'm currently about to finish season 8, and I probably will skip season 9, because it makes me mad. Anyway, that's my major pet peeve with How I Met Your Mother. I just had to get this off my chest. Man, that feels good. I think Marshall is a great character, and I just wish they didn't do him so dirty with this plotline of his. The series spends so much time building up why Ted and Robin work better as friends. I just find it incredibly annoying that they had to bulldoze all of that amazing development in the last few seasons, not only for Ted, but for Marshall. They couldn't be happy with just one character getting their development assassinated. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Let me know what your pet peeves about the show are in the comments, and subscribe for more. Bye!